power. Remember, as my colleagues have said, Abiy rose to power in this euphoria of democratic revolution, and within months, the democratic revolution was unwavering, and people, and people who are basic about this started asking fundamental questions about whether the kind of perception of democracy or if you wish, the democratic project in Ethiopia was getting deep enough to remove the relics of monarchical culture, which basically segmented Ethiopia into ethnic groups that operated more like castes rather than ethnic groups. The Oromo are producers of food, the growers of food. The Amharas are the soldiers. Are the bureaucrats. The Tigrayans are the soldiers and the securocrats, and we have others trying to fit in that matrix. They are fast and so on. And the Somalis are the enemy, because they are Rwandans, as they were. That was it. Now, Abiy did not, and we can put this emphatically, did not even scratch into this particular problem. On the contrary, he aggravated it. Because when he rose to power, the Tigrayans, unexpectedly, voted him down to a man. The Oromo, who were in the prison, voted him in to a person. And the deciding factor was the Amhara. Right? So when then the peace deal with Eritrea came, many people, particularly the international community, the Norwegians, Peace Nobel Committee and all, interpreted this as the biggest thing that has ever happened on the face of the earth, particularly in this region or whatever. They never knew that this was basically military
very good action.
No, it was actually a military agreement rather than a peace process. Yep. It was not a peace agreement between Eritrea. Why? Because Afwerki was the natural enemy of the Tigrayans, and they had fought many wars, over that border when the Tigrayan regime was in Addis Ababa. So when you have a new man in Addis Ababa, then you have an ally to deal with your issue. So it was a natural outcome that Eritrea and Abiy's forces would find themselves in that place of Tigray, fighting that. And the human rights abuse that were documented by human rights communities was basically expected, because this was not a war to defeat, it was a war to annihilate, and it was coded as law and order kind of enforcement.
Police action.
It was a police action. So in that regard, then Tigray now is down. The problem with the Tigray is now down. But has that started dealing with the fundamental question that Abiy found when he came to power? No, in fact, it is escalating. The Amhara emerged in this war as people who supported the government, but who has gained nothing. And therefore, their militia, the Fano, is actually getting more support. It is beginning to become more of a threat to the state than ever before. And they are claiming lands of the Sudan, basically putting Ethiopia in conflict with its neighbors. Now, we have the Oromo. The assumption is that the Oromo has always supported Abiy. No, the vast majority of them opposed him. And the Oromo Liberation Front, the Oromo Liberation Army, is actually more of a threat now to Abiy than even the Tigrayans. And over and above, their Afars have now waged war against the Somalis. Right? So we have that kind of a scenario. And we are seeing more and more disintegration. Eritrea is beginning to become restive, because Abiy's alliance, the alliance that Abiy had put in place between him and Farmajo and Afwerki has collapsed. Now, if it has collapsed, what we are calling the Horn of Africa Alliance or Association is now collapsed. We have now beginning to have what we're calling the summit of the frontline states, Djibouti, Kenya, whatever. But they're still suspicious of Ethiopia in a sense, and Eritrea is also suspicious of what is happening here. So the big point is that two things need to happen. One, Ethiopia need to revisit the democratization project from a serious perspective. They need to hold a convention, resulting in a people's constitution that dismantles the legacy of monarchy in that country. If they don't do, this will not even be, the crisis will continue in a worse way. Second, Ethiopia need now to seriously begin a process of rehabilitating itself with the neighbors. Because during the era of populism with Farmajo and Afewoki, a lot of old credit was spent. And therefore, it no longer has bonga points to spend now. So come to Kenya, go to other countries. The Pretoria peace process actually undermined Eritrea's confidence in Addis Ababa. Therefore, if there's one country that is unhappy with Abiy, it's actually Eritrea, because of the work it has done and the reward it has gotten. So coming to IGAD will be more of a problem than a solution, unless the general context
the relations
is
are
addressed.
It is
addressed.
Thank you.
So that's